Talk about a rotten day. Ugh.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at anticipated comedy movies that everyone assumed would be anywhere between hilarious and passable, yet they weren't even watchable.
It's the beard. It makes me look like Santa.
Number 10, The Hangover Part II.
Phil, I think it's happened again.
With the first film being a record-breaking breath of fresh air, fans were eager to see the Wolfpack return. Granted, we knew only so much could be done with this premise. Like Home Alone 2, though, the change of scenery opened the door for new possibilities. The film also could have taken a meta approach like 22 Jump Street would 3 years later. Instead, Todd Phillips followed the same formula, right down to Alan being responsible for the Wolfpack's predicament.
Alan, what did you do?
It's not my fault. Teddy shouldn't have been sharing from his bag.
What bag?
We'd be forgiving if the film brought the laughs, but the humor goes way beyond feeling recycled. It's more vulgar, mean-spirited, and downright unpleasant. Audiences showed up in droves regardless, but after The Hangover 2, nobody was surprised when Part 3 resulted in another awful experience.
I changed my mind.
Alan, you can't change your mind. Everybody's counting on you.
I'm fine just the way I am. I want to go home. Turn the car around.
Number 9, Howard the Duck.
It's Howard, thank you.
Almost 4 years after hitting the silver screen, Howard the Duck remains one of cinema's easiest punchlines. Believe it or not, there was a time when this superhero comedy seemed poised to become the next big thing.
Yeah, well, I didn't buy it at first either.
Producer George Lucas was riding high on the success of the Star Wars trilogy and first 2 Indiana Jones movies, bringing some of the same creative figures along. It was based on a Marvel comic known for its sharp satire and inventive scenarios with a highly entertaining central character. None of the potential shined through in the final product.
Right.
You know, Howard, we could hold out for a PBS special.
Bill.
Proving too raunchy for kids, too juvenile for adults, and too disturbing for anyone who wasn't already wondering how a human woman and anthropomorphic duck could consummate their relationship.
You know, this is beginning to seriously undermine my self-esteem.
Number 8, Norbit.
It's a horror show.
Eddie Murphy has endured various ups and downs, but The Nutty Professor was definitely a high point. Norbit seemed like a successor to The Klumps, with Murphy again playing multiple characters, reteaming with makeup legend Rick Baker. Murphy's career was also on the upswing following his Oscar nomination for Dreamgirls. If Dreamgirls was the highest of highs, Norbit was the lowest of lows.
Maybe you two go take poop together.
The 3 characters Murphy played ranged from bland to racist to one of the most repellent screen presence we've ever seen in a comedy. Every aspect was unlikable, with even the impressive makeup effects enforcing a terrible message about overweight people. Murphy made horrible comedies before, but we didn't think he had one so repugnant in him.
Hold on now, Pepe. Ain't nothing going down there unless I got the word peso written on it. Como está?
Number 7, The Big Wedding.
No offense. I'm taken.
Anyone who read the script for The Big Wedding would know this project was doomed from the moment Lionsgate said, "I do." Based on the all-star ensemble, though, few could have expected the film to be this uncomfortable. This rom-com doesn't even feel like it was helmed by one person. Characters make decisions with little rhyme or reason, as if scenes are missing.
Serpiente.
She thinks you are a serpent.
Oh. Well, flattery will get you everywhere.
The comedy randomly switches gears between PG-13 and R-rated material, although it never takes full advantage of the latter.
You slept with Missy's father today?
No, not today. It was years ago when we were married.
Oh.
We've seen movies squander talent before, but it's almost remarkable how little the cast manages to salvage. It's awful in ways that we didn't even anticipate. Yet The Big Wedding still isn't uniquely bad enough to be a guilty pleasure. It's just a waste.
By the power still vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Number 6, The Bonfire of the Vanities.
And it begins on a rainy night, a little over a year ago.
In the late 80s, everybody and their mother read The Bonfire of the Vanities. All eyes were on Brian De Palma's film adaptation to be a cinematic event, but people were soon talking about this dark comedy for the wrong reasons. As talented as the cast was, many actors felt miscast, with Bruce Willis as a character who was British in the book, and Tom Hanks, Hollywood's resident nice guy, as a protagonist we're not supposed to sympathize with.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
Plagued by studio interference, the film sucked out what made the novel so challenging and humorous. The troubled production inspired a fascinating book by Julie Solomon and a TCM podcast, but Tom Wolfe's novel remains overdue for a faithful adaptation.
What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses? Ah, well, there are compensations.
Number 5. Holmes and Watson.
Well. Look who's back in the game.
After Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly established their comedic chemistry in Talladega Nights and Step Brothers, many were mystified by how painfully humorless Holmes and Watson turned out.
Oh, yeah, little...
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Of course, a third player was just as integral to the aforementioned films, Adam McKay, who would co-produce Holmes and Watson, but was apparently more interested in directing prestige pictures at this point in his career. While nobody expected the Sherlock send-up to be prestige, they expected it to strike a balance between stupid and funny, only getting the former. At its best, Holmes and Watson is like an SNL sketch that goes on for too long. At its worst, this clueless comedy will make you want to throw every physical copy over the Reichenbach Falls.
What is this strange sensation? Where did I go wrong?
Number 4. Gigli.
How come I never seen you around before?
I'm from another place.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's real-life relationship has rebounded, but there's a reason why Martin Brest hasn't made another movie more than 20 years after Gigli. Much of the press surrounding this dark rom-com revolved around Affleck and Lopez's off-screen romance. At the time, some adored Bennifer while others were getting sick of them. Even if you fell into the latter category, Gigli seemed to have promise with the supporting cast including Al Pacino and Christopher Walken.
And I am very concerned about the way things have turned out here.
Considering that Brest also directed classic crime comedies like Beverly Hills Cop and Midnight Run, few could have fathomed how universally hated Gigli would be. Some say Gigli was gutted in the editing room, and while that didn't help, any film with the line "turkey time" is beyond saving.
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Number 3. Zoolander II.
Thanks for coming with me. I feel kind of nervous.
Hey, you're showing up.
The first Zoolander was a modest box office success, but became a full-blown cult classic on home media. 15 years later, fans were still referencing the Center for Ants and imitating looks like Blue Steel. The idea that Ben Stiller would deliver such a soulless sequel after all this time didn't even feel like a possibility.
It's all too confusing. I thought coming here would help me find myself and possibly my son. But this is more than I bargained for.
Right off the bat, Zoolander 2 leaves a sour taste in your mouth as it undoes the original's happy ending. That sour taste turns staler as we're treated to celebrity cameos that go nowhere, offensively dumb comedy bits, and callbacks that only remind us how much better the original film is. We don't want your excuses, Stiller. This script needed to be at least 3 times funnier than this.
Be careful, Derek. He'll try to get inside your head.
Don't worry. It's closed for business.
Number 2. The Love Guru.
Give me a pound. Lock it down. Break the pickle. Tickle, tickle.
With hit franchises like Wayne's World, Austin Powers, and Shrek, Mike Myers appeared unstoppable. Sure, he had a slip-up here and there, but it'd take a flop of astronomical proportions to kill Myers' career. The Love Guru is a cautionary tale about what happens when an artist becomes too successful.
He's finally here for the first time on the Upper Show. Welcome, Guru
With cringy stereotypes and toilet humor so lazy that you'd swear the movie was literally farted out, the pitch should have been rejected on the spot. When Myers is the star, co-writer, co-producer, though, surely it'll all come together.
Yeah, right?
Ballgazer! Oh my God, there you go!
Even with Myers' track record up until this point, putting all of your eggs in one basket is a dangerous game. The studio paid the price, but so did Myers, who struggled to regain his mojo since.
Thank you, Guru Tuggin the Buddha.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Your Highness. A strong cast and creative setup can still amount to an epic fail.
You look ravishing in that armor, but I don't think you'll need it. The wise wizard's a peaceful little old man.
I'm wearing it. You're just being jealous. Shit!
Bewitched. A throwback so bad it's bewildering.
Guess what?
What?
I'm a witch.
Guess what?
What?
I'm a Clippers fan.
North. Roger Ebert wasn't the only one appalled by how south this production went.
Come on, Ann, these folks are gonna fight it.
Of course they are. They're not gonna take this line down.
And then the media circus began.
Amsterdam. David O. Russell's exercise in wasting an A-list ensemble, $80 million, and our patience.
It's for her own good.
Ever say that to me
I
again?
can't handle
I'll
it.
put you in a hospital. I'll send you to a witch
Please.
trial.
Ladies, stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to raise my voice.
Aloha. How could a movie with Emma Stone be off? Wait, her character's ethnicity is what?
I am a quarter Hawaiian. Ho'olalea.
Call me sir.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Year 1.
Whoa. Don't tell me you're thinking about eating the forbidden fruit.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Jack Black and Michael Cera were just two of the comedy titans in this prehistoric comedy, calling a modern Life of Brian to mind. The behind-the-scenes talent was equally encouraging, with Judd Apatow producing and the legendary Harold Ramis directing. Year 1 carries a sad sentiment with the knowledge that it'd be Ramis's last directorial outing. What's worse, it was a biblically laughless note to go out on.
I want you to enter the Holy of Holies.
Oh, that is quite a coincidence, because I want you to sit on the Holy of Holies.
Never living up to its cast, creative team, and premise, there isn't a joke that works or a scene that doesn't overstay its welcome. Unwatchable is one thing, but we'd go as far to call this film unreleasable. Alas, here we are talking about it, wondering how so many funny people could go so wrong.
I'd like to thank the high priest for his incredible sacrifice. That was really something, wasn't it? No, come on, put your hands together. It makes a sound.
What comedy did you find shockingly awful? Vent in the comments.
All right, you warm enough?
I don't know. Come feel my balls and tell me.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.